This is my first go on the iPhone 13 Pro Max cinematic depth of field mode. So this is a feature that I've been waiting for since Apple introduced a LiDAR on their phones, because what it does is it allows you to record the depth of the photography at the time. So you're going to be able to refocus your shots during and afterwards, which is cool. The first time I had to go with it, so there's lots of crappy shots, and a lot of shots I've probably included just to show you the limitations, but it really is you can actually do all the focus pulls afterwards in iMovie, so you actually don't need to do any of the focus pulls when you're shooting the footage, which I think is quite amazing. Like when I shot all of this, all the focus was wrong, and I played it back and put all the focus cue points in where I wanted them, and I think that's a pretty amazing feature. This was a land of cameras where we've never been able to go and do that before, so you could kind of criticize the quality of the footage and say, I don't like the look of the camera and things like that, but there has been no camera on the planet except the Lytro that you've been able to go and do post-process focus pulls on. And then we've got anamorphic bokeh in the background, and I think that's pretty cool of Apple. I think some of these shots you'd be hard-pressed to not say, oh, that looks like a 5D Mark II kind of looking shot, or a Canon A7R II. Like, it really does have that full-frame looking bokeh. And some of these shots, I totally went through and refocused them and got those textures out. And there are lots of faults. Like, there was a big fault in the Moya pattern on the grill there, but this is early days, and I think it's interesting to see that Apple has gone and put this in the camera application to say, hey, this is going to be there. Like, there's time lapse in there, there's panorama, and now cinematic depth of field. And you'll have errors. Like a shot like this, it's going to get confused on what's the background, what's the foreground, and some of the focus will be anomalous, but that's kind of life. We get some focus banding happening. I've watched this on a larger TV, and some of the focus pulls look absolutely shocking. I've gone and put it at what's called its f2. See, I like the Apple depth of flares. I think it'd be nicer when some of these wide shots. Oh, we'll talk about this. The edge where it goes between focus and out of focus, which we see when the boat will raise up, looks a little bit fake, and so look at the edge of the boat. Yeah, I mean, that was a bad focus pull as well. You'd be able to improve that in the post-processing focus thing that you get to go and do in iMovie. A shot like this, we've got some good foreground blur. It'd be nice to maybe have a little bit more. This will be, there's a 3 times and a 1 times. The 3 times lens would be 77mm equivalent on a full frame camera. So yeah, this is where some of the banding seems to happen, and it looks pretty dodgy. But you can just change the f-stop. So I changed it from f2 to f9, and suddenly that narrow band doesn't look so bad. This is, the beginning of computational cinematography for everybody out there. So sorry if some of the shots are boring. I think I captured some slightly better lit stuff today, and I think there's going to be good days and bad days, but I mean, I literally had just picked up the phone a couple of hours before this and was obviously incredibly excited about shooting in this kind of new mode. So most of the focus pulls I kind of left as they were. You just tap pretty much where you want to be in focus, but you can go and do the post-processing on the focus, and it's you don't have to wait for anything to render. Those edges look pretty bad, and it's in the Dolby Pro Vision, very HDR kind of light range, and it obviously looks better on an Apple device than it looks on a standard TV. There's some flickering in there. You'll get flickering where there's really high frequency noise or a high frequency detail, in the shots. That focus pull was a little bit stink. But anyway, so this is the first day of the iPhone Pro Max 13 cinematic mode. All right, well, choice. See ya.